you, and then initially we'll get to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'll ask, like, Kamalpreet, will start with you a bit.
Okay, all right.
Kamalpreet, Anita.
Okay, ladies, we're live.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone. So welcome
Hi.
to today's talk show for Breaking the Bias. It is our International Women's Day 2022 special powered by IIW. That is Inspiring Indian Women, of course. So thank you so much for joining. We have a brilliant lead of panelists today. So thank you all for joining in. Thank you so much for your time. And it's absolutely brilliant to have such a powerful
Thank you,
personality.
Jazzmine.
Thank you so much. So we have with us today Councillor Smita Rajesh. Hello, Smita.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Smita.
Smita is a
Hi.
Chelmsford councillor. She is a trustee for a secondary school. She's a trustee for a charity. She's a trustee for a Citizens Advice Bureau in Chelmsford as well. So she wears many hats, and she's quite involved in working at the grassroots level for the local community. And this is something, again, that's she feels very passionate about. So thank you so much, Smita, and it will be wonderful to have your views today. Thank you. And we
It's
have
my
with us,
pleasure to be here.
thank you, Smita. We have with us Sonia Gupta. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Lovely.
you for having me.
Thank you,
Nice to
Sonia.
meet you all.
Thank you. Sonia, viewers, she is this amazing, amazing, vibrant personality. I think not everyone knows her. She's, an inspiration, a phenomenon. She has been so outstanding and so voiceful about, presenting her views, and she has been breaking all the norms. By especially, Indian mentality, that is, what people are expecting. She broke all the norms. She threw a divorce party, and even Daily Mirror noticed her. They interviewed her, and she is absolutely delightful. So it will be wonderful to have your views, Sonia. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for the lovely introduction.
Thank you. And we have amazing panelists today. We also have Anita, we have Meena, and we have Kamalpreet and Ramya. So thank you. Again, some ladies who have been through domestic violence, they have overcome this, and they are here to motivate and inspire other ladies who might be in the same situation. So thank you all so much for joining. Ramya, are you there? Okay, Kamalpreet.
Yes.
Hi, dear. Hi, Kamalpreet.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much. And Rashmi is here as well. Hi, Rashmi. Just to say hi.
Yeah, hi, Jazzmine.
Hi, Rashmi. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for.
Before we make a start, do you want to say something, Rashmi?
No, just go ahead. Looking forward to hearing the inspiring ladies. Come on, let's hear them.
Thank you. Okay. Kamalpreet, do you want to tell viewers what is your story? What happened, Kamalpreet?
Okay, I'll start with my introduction. Like I'm a mother to 5 years old daughter who is my lucky charm, my everything. I think because of her, I'm standing here, I'm speaking. She's a big motivator for me, and by profession I am consultant in IT company, and by passion I'm social media designer, and by nature I'm empathetic and persistent. So for me, my mantra of life is nothing is impossible in this world. I mean, you got to have the courage to show it, to make impossible possible in life. So that's why I've named myself courageous. Like core is yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Courageous. No, that's
Yeah.
good to
Yeah. Go ahead.
tell us. So tell us, what happened, what is your story?
So the thing is, I was facing abuse in my marriage since early days as well, but I was not able to recognize whether it was abuse or something else. Maybe I was shy, maybe I was not, aware of that kind of thing. But yes, it used to be, you know, I used to feel very awkward and weird while hearing those comments about my family, like my parental family, And yes, when I used to oppose it, it used to become intense, and eventually what happened is it came out to be, physical violence. So the first incident happened when I was pregnant, like it was third month, when I was pushed by my husband, and it was kind of, nightmare for me. I mean, it was a nightmare just because he pushed me. It was like, I mean, I haven't seen my great grandparents fighting like this. I haven't seen, I come from a family wherein women are respected very much, not just because we are so many of them, but yes, I mean, एक वो होता है ना कि एक family का ethic होता है कि women are respected so much. And I never saw neither my grandparents nor my parents like fighting with each other and abusing each other. Yes, fights happen in every family, but it wasn't like कि आप lady को demean करो. It wasn't like that. But when I went to, when I got married, it was entirely opposite for me, and I used to stand for my mother-in-law, who now took everything from me, who now took my husband from me. So, yeah, it was just basically, I won't say that my husband was that bad, but he came under influence, did every damn thing, whatever he saw his mother was going through, he did with me.
हम्म। तो
So he
मतलब आपकी
pushed
अरेंज
me. I
मैरिज
was
हुई थी? अरेंज मैरिज?
arranged marriage. It
और
was
आप
all
इंडिया
arranged marriage. Come again, your voice is
इंडिया से
breaking.
इंडिया से यहाँ आए थे आप?
In I was in India only. I mean, it's after a few years of marriage we came here. I just came in UK in 2018 only.
अच्छा।
Yeah, yeah. And before that, I mean, the first incident happened when I was pregnant, and it was kind of not acceptable. My family was very much against it, but I did not give up on my relationship. I wanted to give it a chance.
तब
So
आप
I
वहाँ पे
kind of,
थे इंडिया में?
Hanji.
अच्छा।
Yes, that's right. I was in India, and probably things went like, he out of anger. It was a situation wherein I thought that yes, ik heat of the moment pe somebody did that. So
हम्म।
I forgave him, and then it happened second time. It happened like after few years. Okay, so I did not tell it to my family that this happened, but yes, I kept it to myself. It was just because, like, unlike Asian community, my family was with me. Like they were kind of pushing me to get out of this relationship because they saw every damn thing, every bad thing happening between us, and I was kind of not prepared that I have to give up on my relationship. I again gave it a chance. I did not tell to my parents, not even to my sister, that this happened, but
हम्म।
somehow I kept it to myself so that, my husband would know that this is wrong. Whatever is happening is wrong. And third time it happened in 2020, wherein I took the step. I mean, it was kind of very much intense, wherein he pushed me here and there from neck, dragging me from kitchen to room, and everything happened in front of my daughter.
तो ये वहां पे
So
इंडिया में क्या सिचुएशन थी? आपके इन लॉज उनको भड़का रहे थे, आपकी मदर इन लॉ उसको भड़का रही थी, एंड शी वाज वाइंडिंग हिम अप, एंड दैट वाज द रिजल्ट, एंड ही वाज
so
लाइक
the thing is, very first incident when happened, I told my mother-in-law, not even to my father, not even to my sister, because I felt I was close to my mother-in-law, but she was playing games with me. I didn't know that. I mean, out of respect, out of giving her, nobody used to respect her in the family. It was me who used to say that we have to respect mother, we have to respect women. They can't be treated like that, because I came from the family wherein women are respected so much. So I gave her that place. I gave her that, wo jagah di, wherein she was respected, and then she simply denied that my son cannot do this. I said he did this, and if I'm gonna tell to my father, they're gonna take me away from here because they don't want this to happen. Obviously, no parent would want this to happen, but considering my case, my family was entirely like, I wasn't ready to give up on my relationship, but my family was like, you have to go with the right. This is not happening. I mean, nothing is happening right in between you guys.
Hmm.
So
When you
इन्होंने
came
ignore
here, did
किया.
things improve? When you came here, was there any improvement? There was no interference from your in-laws here, right?
No, there was interference. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, okay, I wasn't feeling that we are living alone. I wasn't in that, I wasn't with that mentality कि मेरे को उसके mother father को अलग करना है. But instead, उल्टा ही था यहाँ पे. I mean, it was entirely opposite. Uh, so they used to interfere a lot, in every single thing. And I would say the guy wasn't matured enough to handle those things, to make balance between, wife and his parents. So due to which these things happened, and he was kind of very much under influence of everything. So he didn't feel he did wrong to me. He simply said that it was just because you made me angry, which wasn't the nice answer, I would say. I mean, arguments happen between everyone, right? Even between sisters, even between mother or father, everyone. But that doesn't mean you have to come to a point wherein you can you can hit anyone. It's just because I'm a girl, that's why I'm being hit. No, it
Because they
shouldn't be
think
like
you are
that.
not physically strong, so that's why they think. And I think it's a
That's why.
repeating pattern. They have this,
Yes,
they have this pattern there where they make you feel that this is your fault.
exactly.
So you made me do
Exactly.
this. You made me lose my
Exactly.
temper. This is your fault,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So in a way, or third time be when it happened, I told his parents. Not
Yeah.
I told his parents. He himself called up his parents because he was used to this kind of thing. Whenever any argument used to happen between us, he used to involve his parents to sort the things out. For which I used to say him, we don't have to involve parents, we are mature enough to handle our arguments, right? So but
Hmm.
he wasn't that kind of person. He used to tell every damn thing to his parents. Obviously parents, बेटा है जी, हमारा बेटा है, वो लड़के वाली थिंकिंग कि
So
लड़कियों
आपके
को तो
केस में
दबाना
क्या
है.
problem था? What was the problem? Was it that he felt you were going out, or he felt you were not? What was the
हमारे
problem? What
केस
was
में
his problem with you?
हमारे केस में मेरे केस में प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं थी. मेरे केस में प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि मैं सही को सही क्यों बोलती हूँ, मैं सही को गलत क्यों नहीं बोलती. बिकॉज ही वॉज इन द हैबिट ऑफ सेइंग right to the wrong things.
Hmm.
I used to tell him कि जो सही है वही होगा. And secondly, हमारे केस में arguments क्या होते थे, just because of my daughter. तो
अच्छा.
मेरी डॉटर को वो चीजें सिखाई जाती थी जो ठीक नहीं है. And I used to oppose those things, that I don't want to raise my child like that.
Hmm.
So I used to say that everybody has to go along with it. He knew that his parents are not, good between themselves. He
Yeah.
knew this fact. But his mother and sister, they were that in that kind of, I don't know what kind of jealousy they had, what problem they had. We had no arguments, but they had some problem with me,
Hmm.
wherein they used to feed something opposite against me, to my husband. And my
Hmm.
husband used to get influenced, and there used to be an argument every now and then कि मैंने
Hmm.
ऐसे क्यों किया, I did not say anything to them, these
Hmm.
kind of things. I mean, बहुत छोटी पिटी issues पे arguments होते थे, but the thing is family was involved, and they used to take it as ego कि हम लड़के वाले हैं और लड़की वालों को दबाना चाहिए, something like that. मेरी मदर की, I mean, my mother died when I was, I think, I would be around 12 to 13 years of age.
Yeah.
She died of heart attack. So that was very, I mean, unfortunate. At that time, we weren't aware कि इतनी छोटी age में हमें कैसे manage होएगा, how we would go ahead. But my family, they were so good. My grandmother, my aunt, my sister, so everybody supported us. तो तो जब शादी होती है ना, when you get married, तो everybody was expecting कि she should get her mother, like mother-in-law में ही she would
हाँ
see her
मिलेगी.
mother. Yeah. But in my case, I was considering her mother, but she was playing games with me just because she wasn't, she was jealous of something. I don't know what kind of jealousy it was, but she was jealous of something.
I
हर
think वो भी
चीज पे
recurring
बोलती थी।
pattern है कि मदर इन लॉ को लगता है कि अब बेटा मेरा नहीं रहा, अभी बहू का हो गया,
Exactly,
बहू का नहीं मानना चाहिए, इसलिए उसको दोनों में कभी
exactly.
दोनों की बननी नहीं चाहिए, तो दोनों में
Yes.
हमेशा मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स कराओ, तो दोनों का एक नहीं होना चाहिए, तो वरना हमारा क्या होगा, तो
Yes,
that
the
is
thing
also
is, what I noticed when I got married, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law weren't having that much hold in the family. And when I got married, everybody used to love me like anything. My father-in-law,
इनसिक्योर हो जाती है,
yes,
इनसिक्योरिटी की वजह से ये
insecurity की वजह से, yes. My father-in-law used to love me. My husband's family, like chacha, taya, and bua, and everybody used to love me. The only two persons who were, hatred of, of me were my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law.
तो
And
ये
I
भी एक
make
एक important thing to note है, I think, and all my panelists will agree that women becomes their women's worst enemy. This is the last
exactly
thing we want. We are celebrating International Women's Day. Smita, you want to make some comment about this? Women being women's worst enemy.
I think it's very it's evident that that's what women are like, and we are our worst enemies. It, it's not just the case that women always are against other women. There are women who are supportive, like Rashmi here and this group. The women are supportive of each other as well. But when it comes to the household matters, then things have, all the emotions are in a different they are in a different circumstances. It's a different criteria there when it comes to personal relationships. And there it's you see that every step women are opposed, and there are negative connotations when if someone wants to go out and do certain things, if they want to build upon their careers, if they want, even if they just want to become more independent, there are women within the family who would stop you from doing. And sometimes it's not because they are completely against you, but it's also their own upbringing, their own conditioning, that they are told that, oh, you are a woman, you should stay within the four walls, and there is no place for you outside. And that is what they convey to their the people who come, new people who become within their families, who are additions to the family. They just take it forward, whatever they get. And it's very hard for those women to come out of that conditioning and give a new, something different to their own, daughter-in-law, things like that. So I think what Kaur is saying is something that many of us have suffered in one way or another. And it's not just Indian women, but it's women in general. Everyone suffers because it's a human emotions rather than, any particular thing.
Yeah.
No, but I feel I feel just like the women who wasn't having any hold in the family, I made, like, I was supporting her. Being a woman, I was supporting her. Like you said, that it was just because of emotions. So those emotions can be positive as well. For me, it was positive emotions. Like I used to tell everyone, I used to tell my father-in-law that we have to respect her. We don't have to speak like that. We don't have to be in always in arguments mode, right? So uh, I made her place, and it was just her who snatched every damn thing just because everybody used to love me. This thing bothers me a lot. Just because of this thing, my husband knew that I'm right. My father-in-law knew that I'm right, but it was just their ego. My mother-in-law's ego, which did not let me stay in that relationship. And secondly, it was lack of confidence and not able to take stand of me from my father-in-law and from my husband. If they would have taken stand for me, this would not had happened.
So, Meena is
We
raising a very good point. She's saying, courageous. पीछे देख के आपको क्या लगता है, आपने क्या अलग करना चाहिए था, आपको क्या लगता है, या आप क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगी? पीछे देख के आपको पास्ट में देख के आपको लगता है कि यू शुड हैव डन समथिंग डिफरेंटली, अगर आपने ऐसा कुछ ये किया होता तो शायद ये नहीं होता, ऐसा कुछ लगता है आपको?
मेरे को ऐसे लगता है, अगर मैं अपनी मदर इन लॉ और डॉटर इन लॉ की तरह मैनिपुलेटिव होती ना, तो शायद मैं आज रिलेशनशिप में होती। या मतलब the way they used to portray every damn thing to the family, to my father-in-law, to my husband, they wanted me to do the same, but I felt that was wrong. I was straightforward for everything, for which they were against me.
मतलब डिप्लोमेटिक होना पड़ता है. एंड हाउ ओल्ड वर यू व्हेन यू गॉट मैरिड? यू आई थिंक यू मस्ट हैव बीन क्वाइट यंग एज वेल. तो वो
I
भी
was 27. I was 27.
compared to your daughter, mother-in-law. So I think that is
Yeah.
also one thing we don't expect, क्योंकि हम सीधे होते तो हमको लगता है सारी पूरी दुनिया सीधी है.
पूरी दुनिया, yeah,
But
exactly.
how
तो
you-
I mean, they were expecting me to be a girl who came from a small town, and she should agree to every damn thing, and they were in the thinking, that orthodox thinking, that a girl should, agree to everything whatever her in-law says, and she should bring lots and lots of things from her father. She should bring every single thing on every occasion, and these kind of things. So when I did not do that thing, this was against me. So
yeah,
I would say that every girl should be strong enough to fight for these kind of things, and
yeah,
should be very strong enough to convey right and wrong to their in-laws. For
yeah,
I wasn't that strong.
yeah. Not about being manipulative, but about standing your ground. Smita?
Yes, exactly. Not at all
I
being
think
manipulative. Yeah.
I would like to add to this conversation, because I think we women tend to put lots of onus on ourselves, lots of responsibility on just ourselves, but men are equally responsible. So if someone doesn't stand up for themselves or for others, if your husband, or anyone, any particular husband doesn't stand up for themselves, they are seeing what the situation is. If they don't know what is right from wrong, then you cannot take all the responsibility from them, their responsibility, onto yourself. So if you are not strong, your husband knows what you are doing the right thing, then he should be able to differentiate between right and wrong. So responsibility lies both ways, not just on women or just on men. It's both ways. So if it is not working, it's not just one person's, just women's fault. It is the
Exactly.
whole, everyone involved in that situation, whether it's the
Everyone.
mother-in-law.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. Fantastic. No, great.
So you couldn't have done anything different. You did what you could in that circumstances, and I'm sure you did give your best to this relationship.
I did every damn thing. I changed myself, whatever my husband wanted, although I couldn't have done that, but I did every damn thing just to save my relationship. I did not give up. I just put my self-respect on stake. But even then, when things didn't work, and when things turned to be, from abuse, from verbal abuse to physical abuse, it was the time, like, God wanted me to give up on it.
Right. So,
And I'm glad, you shouldn't regret it. You've done your best.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And the best is yet to come. Courageous,
Yeah,
that's how
right.
you take it, isn't it? So what did you do? What was the first step you took? Because आप यहाँ पे थी ना, you were not in India. When you decided to
Yeah.
step, you were here. So then
Yeah.
what did you do? Because you were a housewife, right? You were a housewife, you had a kid.
Yeah, I was jobless. I was not having job. I used to do weekend job just because to avoid arguments. So I used to go for weekends, but that wasn't that much. But due to COVID, it was all stopped. And I complained to police because it was intense. I did complain to police, but I did not let him arrest, just because I didn't want my daughter to know that her father was arrested just because he hit her mother, although he did bad. But I wanted, wanted him to know that he was wrong, and wanted his parents to know that they are also wrong in supporting him. That's why I did complain to police, to make him learn the lesson, not because I want to take revenge of anything, not because I just wanted to make him show that I can stand for myself and for my daughter. Whatever happened was wrong. Didn't want my daughter to face any kind of situation wherein she would compromise for everything, but she should know wherever she has to take the stand, she should take the stand. So that is why I did police complaint. And then after few days, they I mean they took him outside the house. One night he spent outside. So when he came back, he simply said that I have to make arrangements for me and my daughter. I told him that it is COVID, I can't go anywhere, not even to my relatives who are in London. So police has asked me to stay here only, but he said that no, you have to make arrangements. Then I contacted few organizations. I won't name them, but yeah, a few organizations wherein I told them the entire story. I told police also. So social services were involved because I had a child. So they moved me out of that house. They they put me in temporary accommodation. We stayed there for 15-20 days, and after that, home office accommodation was given to us. So
Okay.
it was a hostel, a refuge, wherein one bedroom was given to us. A shared kitchen was there. There
Right.
was bunk bed. I clearly remember that that small room was so dirty. It had, the wash basin was inside the uh, bedroom, and it was blocked. So when I went into that room, I was kind of so upset about my situation. I could have faced if I would have, I was without child, but I didn't want my daughter to face that kind of situation. But she made me stand for the right. She was she did not even say that, Mama, I don't have my toys, where are we staying, this is so dirty. She didn't even say that. She just wanted me to smile. That's what she asked for. Mama, can you please smile, please don't cry for anything.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
what she kept on saying me. And yeah, thing. And my family, I I would say that it was my family. Because of them, I was able to take this step. I won't say that it was my direct family. My entire family, like my aunt, uncle, my cousins, my everybody, every single person back in India supported me. My friends, everybody was, emotionally supported me. Although they weren't be able to come to me just because of COVID. But
Yeah.
yes, that emotional support continued every time. And I think if it continues, I can really conquer the world.
We are from
We
South.
love your spirit.
Okay.
We love your spirit. Thank you.
Sorry?
Ramya, you wanted to say
No,
something?
Bangalore.
Ramya?
I'm here. I'm so sorry. The connection was very bad because I'm traveling in the train from London to Manchester. So I hope you all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Did you want to comment something further on what Courageous was saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm so glad that she decided to stand up for what she thought was right. And, she said that men of her family, especially her father and father-in-law, did not stand up to her because, they think that this has been working in our family for so long. Who are you to change it? Like, people don't want to change the status quo, but I'm glad that
Exactly.
she still, they don't want to change the status quo. Like, हमारे घर पे तो इतने साल से यही चल रहा है. तुम कौन आई ये सही गलत बताने वाली. So that's the
No, but
mentality that
no, what I tried to say is, uh, despite knowing I am right, despite after I got separated, even then he was confessing that it was just because of my mother-in-law this happened. you
Mm-hmm.
know so it was his he wasn't having that courage to stand against my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. This was I was trying to convey, you know.
No, absolutely. No, no, no. Ramya, are you there?
Sorry to interrupt you, Ramya.
No, no, no. Courageous. I mean, we are really proud of you, and thank you for sharing your story. And it's one good thing about being in UK is that you got all this support. The government here
Exactly.
is so helpful. Smita, as a counselor, do you want to just mention, give us viewers a brief idea if someone, a woman, she's suffering domestic violence, wo kaam nahi kar rahi hai, she's at home, she's a stay-at-home mom, she's got kids, and she's thinking, my husband is hitting me, he's abusing me, I cannot take this anymore, but main kahan jaun, main kya karu, what to do? Smita, can you just give us some pointers, some advice?
Yes, I would say if it is really bad, you shouldn't put yourself in danger. I think your safety, a woman's safety is the most important. A person's safety is the most important.
No, it's all right.
And if you have
Back.
someone within your four walls, your own household, who is ready to hurt you, you should take that step. The first thing you should do if you are hurt, or if you are in danger, or if you think you will be in danger, if you're scared, then you should give the police a call. And to do this, I know it takes courage. It takes courage
Takes a
to
lot
just
of
to
courage.
dial 999,
Exactly.
but you should do it because then the police would be able to guide you and tell you what resources are available for you. And you should ask questions. Don't be scared by the police just by looking at their, their dress, or their uniforms. You should ask them what resource is available for me. And there are ample resource available for women who come from domestic violence. And especially if they have children, it is even more important for the country to save those children who are British citizens. And say, for example, you are still new to the country, even then the country has the responsibility to look after your welfare and your safety. So don't take it. If you think you are in danger, and if you think, oh, what will happen financially? How will I deal with it? I have no money, I don't work, I don't do this. Don't look at the negatives. Look at the positives. This country has all the resources to help all the women who suffer from domestic violence. So you should not be scared to take that step and call the police. If you can't call the police, call your local council. If you call the council will be able to guide you to the organizations who are in the better know-how. Even if you are staying with your husband and you still don't have the courage to leave them, but you are in a very violent situation, they will guide you how to deal with that situation. So the council has all the resources. So you could one day when you are alone, give the council a call, let them know of your situation. Or third option is to tell your GP. If you are going to the GP for some ailments, go there and tell the GP that you are in such situation and you are seeking help. These are the three options. You could tell any of these three organizations, institutions who would be able to help you. So, and they will help you according to your situation. So I would say, don't be scared, take that step, be courageous, because what you are dealing with is also not the best situation. You should never compromise with your safety.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. कोई किसी को women को, married women को शौक नहीं होता है पुलिस बुलाने का. Nobody is finding it fun in that. But if it is that you are in that situation, there is no other way out. then obviously these pointers that you gave, Smita, it's absolutely brilliant. Either call the police or contact your social council or social services, or you can tell your GP as well. Yeah, they would then point you in the right direction. Thank you so much, Smita. Ramya, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I'm very much here. So what I want is people think, when there is a problem in the family, like when there is a domestic violence issue, they think going to India is actually going to solve the issue. But
I think she's on the train and the network is not great.
get the
Courageous?
kind of support, financial and all kinds of support that you get in this country. I mean, no disrespect to India. India has its own process and things like you have your family around and everything. But the support that you get in this country is much.
Yeah, I think we lost her. Courageous?
Yeah. So the same thing I wanted to say, that I wasn't aware of any single support which is being offered to any women or child, but it was just my organization. I had so much pain in my neck because I was dragged from one room to another, so I had to report it to GP as well to get the medicine because it was COVID. So I was kind of scared how I will handle my daughter and everything, and everybody helped me. They directed me to few organizations. My GP directed me to few organizations wherein they referred me further. Those organizations got in touch with me. They supported me for everything. When I left the house, I wasn't having any single toy for my daughter. It was just I took few of her clothes and just one pair for myself, and I just survived 1 month in those clothes.
Okay, I understand. But at least, that as you're saying, it's
But it
great.
was,
This country has so much support.
yes, this country supported me a lot without asking for anything. This country supported me a lot.
No, stay strong. Smita?
Just one last thing. I think we as a women, we are not responsible for just ourselves, but to our children as well. Whether it's boy or a girl, whoever, whichever gender our children are, we need to put an example. And what Courageous has done is that I don't think that your daughter will feel that, oh, you didn't provide her clothes or you didn't provide her food or the clean environment,
Otherwise, yeah.
but she would respect you because you stood up for yourself. And that's what she needs to learn in future. When she will be in such situations, she will know what to do. You didn't know, but she would know what to do. She would know where to draw that line and decide that this is what I can take, and after that I can't take this. I have to take that step. And I think that is what we need to, as this generation needs to do, that to put that line, to do this, to take that step, so that our children know, they respect us and they respect themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Smita. Thank you for your time. Courageous?
And we every woman should have never give up attitude, wherein she should not give up. I'm not saying she should give up on relationship also. The very first time any incident happens, she should give up on that I'm leaving this relationship. No, this
Yeah.
should not be all. I mean, she should not give up on anything. If it comes to saving any relationship, I
Yeah.
did not give up on my relationship. I tried my best, and it was just, I think it was my destiny that it had, that was written. I mean, it has to happen, so it happened. I wasn't prepared to take this step. I mean, I think because of COVID, nobody was able to come to me. Otherwise, when I was in India, before this big step, I took that step couple of times, like 3 times this happened before. But
No, of course.
again, I dragged myself to that relationship. No, I won't give up on that.
And women,
But
especially, we try to make it work for our kids.
work
We
for
want
our
them, we
kids.
don't want them,
Exactly.
them to be in a broken
Exactly.
home. But
And
obviously,
uh, I think women, there is nobody strong like the strength of women has, nobody has that strength. Um, I mean, who can give birth out of her body? So that is the biggest strength. So I would
correct.
say that we should embrace that strength instead of, making ourselves think that we are weak. We actually are not weak.
We are very strong. We are stronger than
We
we
are
think.
very strong. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Thank you so much. Sonia, do you want to come in? You want to say anything to
Right,
Courageous?
I mean, no,
Yeah, I
very
would love
brave,
to
very
say,
brave.
I'm so glad that though you were completely unprepared to, go through
Ramya, I
a
was just,
breakup already.
Ramya, let
Can you hear me?
Sonia finish. Let Sonia
Yeah.
finish, and I'll come back to you. Thanks.
All right. Sorry.
Sonia, go on, sorry.
Right. I was going to say she's very brave. My story is quite different to Courageous's. I British born, got married in India, was planning to live there, and then we ended up coming back here. But I actually didn't have the family support till much later. So, but well done. It's a really difficult situation to be in. I agree. Women have a lot of strength, a lot of power. Us women need to stick together and do what's right for us and our children. My family did eventually come round for me to leave my marriage, but initially I didn't have that support, so I had to fight for about 7 years to get my family on side for them to agree that it was the right thing for me to do to leave my marriage, and I actually had nowhere to go, so was stuck at home in the same household. So a very different story, but in the end the outcome is the same. We got through. And my motto to life is there is life after divorce. Life doesn't end there. Hence the divorce party, but we can come on to that later.
Yeah. Yeah. Ramya, you wanted to say something to Courageous? Ramya? Okay.
I think for me, it was my friends and family who
Mhm.
supported
And
me.
when she did, I'm
There
so
was
glad.
never-ending
Sorry?
support.
Yeah, I mean, though she never wanted to actually separate from her husband, when the separation actually happened, I'm so glad, and things have worked out for her. She didn't break, she didn't break down, and stood strong and courageous, like her name suggests. And she has done what she was supposed to do, and I'm so proud of her. And I wish a lot of women would do this, because a lot of women, rather than the main thing that they are afraid of is, what would I do once he leaves me, or if I leave him? So that fear, and they want that safety, or you can also call it a trauma bonding, where they are like kind of bonded to their abusers. And sometimes these abusers also make these women feel like they are not capable of handling things themselves all alone, like they will be on the streets if the abuser leaves them, or some such thing. So
Yeah.
for whatever reason, sometimes it's the abuser doesn't leave them as well. He brings them back by telling them false assurances and stuff like that. So for whatever reason, I'm so glad that she left him, and then after she left him, she is still standing strong and lived to tell the tale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it
So
was
I wish more.
just, yeah, it's been a, I mean, after 2 years, I'm now able to speak about myself. In these 2 years were so very tough that I went into depression. I wasn't able to sleep for the entire night, for the entire day. I lost 12 kgs when I got separated from my husband, because I wasn't able to eat anything. I wasn't able to feed myself. It was just I was feeding my daughter. That's it. And when I was diagnosed with depression, I went on antidepressant. Till now, I am on antidepressants, although
Mm.
it has gone to very low dose now, but it's still going on. Then I had to go through CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, from
Yeah.
Greater Manchester Mental Health. So
Mhm.
I had those sessions. I used to go to church to get those mindful workshops so that I can stand for myself. So while I was having these kind of things, I wasn't aware that my sister is undergoing this pain, the same pain I am going through. So she went into depression and she tried to do something. And that situation made me to stand for myself, that I don't have to give up on anything because I would lose my sister.
No,
So
no, no.
this was the thing made me strong to stand for myself.
No, no, you did the right thing. And your daughter is going to be so proud of you, courageous. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
We were
fantastic.
not able to support each other, but yes, I think that virtual support was there, and somehow the support from organizations in UK, there are few organizations which are in touch with me. They used to coach me virtually. I used to take sessions, and then when I thought that I mean then I put on so much weight that I wasn't able to see myself, like how much weight I'm putting. And then again I got anemic. There were so many problems just because of those antidepressants I was taking. And finally, when I realized that I have to get rid of everything, I started working out, I started going to temple, I started doing meditations, and then somehow I managed to stand for myself. And then I decided that I have to go for a job wherein I will support my daughter right in this country, wherein there is nobody to support me and my daughter
Yeah,
other than UK government.
yeah.
Finally, I landed up with 4 job offers.
That's it. That's it.
After, yes, after getting in touch with organizations, like there was organization called Work, and Southway Broadway Housing, these kind of organization who used to coach me, because I lost my confidence. They used to train me for everything. And finally I landed up with 4 offers, and then I had to decide which offer I had to go through. And now I am business consultant in an IT company. Along with that, to keep myself busy, I joined IIW. And Rashmiji, again, she keep on boosting me. She wasn't aware of my situation, but yes, she used to motivate me for my work, whatever I was doing, just because of mental health, to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
And then I was given the designation of marketing manager in IIW. Along with that, I am trustee of a library just close to our place.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
yeah, I won't say that I have reached to a level wherein I would say that I have achieved a lot, but yes, I can see a great improvement in myself when I saw the support was given to me from UK government, from my family, from my daughter, from my friends. Yeah, I think the support matters a lot. If you're getting support, you can do wonders.
Correct, correct. So thank you, Kaur. Courageous. That's amazing to end on a positive note.
Yeah,
And I think we are all
yeah.
very happy for you. Yeah. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you
Thank,
so much for having me. Yeah.
thank you. Sonia, can we come to you? Can we hear, can we know a bit about, your background? It's very interesting, having what you said, your husband working with your parents, in the same business. You don't hear that situation often, but it's quite an interesting scenario. Can you tell us a bit?
Yes, of course. So I said British born. I went to India in about 2003, and actually my plan was to get married and actually live out in India. Quite like India, and unfortunately haven't been back for a long time now.
Yeah.
Our plan didn't really pan out that way, and we ended up coming back to the UK. And I think that was part of the problem, because very different views, got married, had a child, moved to the UK, building our lives. There were lots of issues within the marriage. There were, I don't really want to go into too much of the ins and outs, but there were lots of kind of issues. But I did try to make it work. Just as Courageous was saying, you don't give up straight away. I didn't give up straight away. I tried. I spoke to my family after a couple of, I think we've been married for about 10 years by that point, maybe 7 years. And I could kind of see the marriage was not going to go the way I really wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family in 2010 and said, look, I need out. And unfortunately, they were not supportive of that for various reasons, and mainly the cultural reason. Your children need 2 parents. And he was also working.
Can you unmute?
Yeah, they were very they were very close with him. So they would see him on a daily basis. And me and my mum, in all honesty, always had a bit of a rocky relationship. Even pre-marriage, I was always the outgoing, spoken, loud girl. My younger sister was a very doting daughter who did everything as my mother said. So we already had a rocky relationship. So I think my ex-husband kind of played on that a little. He knew that me and my mum were not great.
Yeah.
And he had a great relationship with him. And I'd go around and he was the king. And I was just, you know, I had people come around for dinner once and they went home and the wife said to the husband, so Sonia is the daughter-in-law and the ex-husband is the son. And he was like, no.
The other way around.
The opposite, it's the opposite. But that's the way my family, you know, they doted on him, and that's fine because that's what we do in our culture. But then my battle was getting my family on board. Thank God. And I thank God that they did eventually come around. But the 7 years that I went through when I literally had no support, I would go to my mum and dad and I'd be in tears. And they were like, you know, you can't leave this marriage. I'd come home and he'd be here and I'd be like, where do I go? So I had also given up my career. So because he wanted me to stay home and look after the kids and make a roti every day, and I'm working full time. I couldn't do all that. So my mum was like, you need to do this to save your marriage. So I did. And then I made the decision actually to go back to work. And that's how I built my life back up. I went back to work. I got my life back. I went back to my career, just working part-time. And then as the kids got older, I built up my working career, and I progressed from being like a support manager to like a finance manager of a group of nurseries. And I love what I do. And that actually was my safe haven. My job, I would say, literally saved my life. It gave me something to focus on. Yes, I have my children to focus on. And I was leaving my marriage because I wanted to make sure my children didn't see what they were seeing on a daily basis. It was hard at home. But yeah, in the end, I fought through and I did get there. It just took a long time, over 10 years in the end.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting how, you know, husbands can be, you know, manipulative that way as well. They can manipulate your parents as well, to the point that, you know, your parents think that it's your fault and, you know, you should be compromising. You know, they just think you're overreacting, isn't it? That's probably what they thought, that you are overreacting.
They were saying, "Bola to task, and I'll be like, that's not good enough. And I'm like, you know, it's still emotionally hurtful. And my children would see and hear some of these things. So, I mean, there's no custody battle, and I will never do that. My children are of an age where they can make their own decisions. They have a relationship with their dad. I have a relatively amicable relationship now that everything's kind of resolved. But we were living together, and I think the hardest thing for me was going to court, facing him in court, and then coming home.
Yeah,
and
then
he won every single court case up until the final hearing. Every single one went in favor until the final hearing.
Really? So what changed? What happened in the final hearing? What happened?
The final hearing, the judge saw through the truth.
Is it amazing?
So I was, and you know, again, I thank God every day for what we were, you know, I got there in the end, but in the end, the truth came out. And to be honest, it was all financial. There was never a custody issue because, as I said, my oldest child is 17, so he can speak his own mind. And he always has, and in fact, has also said quite a few things to my ex-husband to say, you know, you can't speak to mom like that. But children shouldn't have to see that.
Correct.
And that's the other reason I made the decision. Like, I had to get out. I had to leave for my own happiness and the children's. And before all this, I was at a crossroads. I could stay and be unhappy and be a housewife and be looked after and not work hard. That was my choice. Or I leave, I choose the harder option, go back to work and be happy. And I chose the harder option, but I am the most happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us how the party happened, you know, the famous party.
Oh, yeah. So, well, to be honest, it was just going to be a party my birthday was in July, but there was still lockdown. So the party just evolved and actually ended up being in September. And I had a theme. It was just like being free. It was like being freedom. And I said to my children, you invite your friends, I'm going to invite my friends, because they hadn't had play dates. I hadn't had their friends over because the atmosphere in the house was not one that I could then bring other people's children into my home. So it was it was called a freedom party, but my invite had, some mottos about divorce. And lo and behold, I threw this party, and Asian Single Parents Network had put it up on their social media.
Yeah.
And then somebody approached them, and the Mirror got in touch with me, and well, there you go. And that's my story. And there is life after divorce.
Absolutely. And I think you broke all the norms, but it is what it is. And I think people need to understand, women especially need to understand that, as you're saying, there is life after divorce. What message do you want to give them, Sonia? What do you want to tell women who are stuck in an abusive relationship or they're not happy?
My message is, don't be scared. You need to fight for what's right. Believe in yourself. If I had given up at the first or second or third hurdle, I would not be sitting here smiling the way I am. I was up against all the odds. I had no support. My mum and dad didn't want me to leave. My children were young at that time. And I had my plan was to just get my career back and work my way through the situation step by step. Yes, admittedly, it took a long, long time, and I wish it didn't take that long. But don't suffer in silence. There are so many support networks out there, and I wish I knew about them before. Unfortunately, I didn't. But speak to somebody close, or look, I'm available for anyone to ever speak to. I have networks that you could speak to. Don't suffer in silence. There is definitely life after divorce. There is stigma around it, but if we don't break those biases, there's always going to be stigma, and we need to prove to the future generations about being happy and being true to yourself. That's the most important thing. You were somebody before you got married, and you can be somebody after that divorce as well. You don't have to be that person in that middle if you are not happy.
True. Thank you so much. What about, do you want to tell anything to the parents, your issue was, parents getting them on board. So, what do you want to tell to the elder generation?
To the elder generation, I think it's really important that you listen to your children. It's key now. It's not the time where children have to have both their parents. A toxic environment isn't right for children. It's better to have two parents living separately and being happy, because if you are happy as a person, you can give your all to your children. I was unhappy. I was looking after my children, but I wasn't giving them the love and the attention that they should have had, because my head was in, how do I get out of this mess? To the older generation, it is okay for your children to divorce. They can still be happy without that life partner. If they're happy on the inside, they're happy on the outside. If they're not happy on the inside, they can't be happy on the outside. It's really important that the older generation understand that. There is the key in life is to be happy, however that is.
True. Thank you so much, Sonia. Anita, you want to come in there? I think you had a similar situation. Anita?
Yes, just 1 minute. Yes, I got married in India as well, and it was an arranged marriage. And what happened is, like, soon after getting married, I didn't get the domestic violence, but I saw it. Like, my elder brother-in-law would hit his wife in front of me. And then I would say, you shouldn't do this. And then my mother-in-law would come, no, go to your room. It's between them. Just go to your room. I said, this is not right. I started seeing the abuse because it was a joint family. So I started seeing it, and I didn't really like the atmosphere. It was very toxic in my in-laws' house, very toxic. They would always badmouth my sister-in-law every time. She was elder to me, elder sister-in-law, and they would hide. You wouldn't believe, they would hide sugar, milk. In the kitchen, they would hide it. And whenever, if I have to go and make something, I just see there's no sugar, no ghee, or no nothing. And I'm saying, where is it? Oh, we have to hide because she eats everything.
Oh,
which I thought was so, you are so down market, man. You can't even afford to feed your daughter-in-law. What kind of your family is this? And then after a few months, I decided to come to UK because I knew I wouldn't, it's not going to work out in this family. I rather my husband comes with me to UK. Otherwise, I don't think that's going to work. Anyway, I came to the UK because I had some health problems, and they wanted, and in the UK, I thought it would be better treatment. So I came there, I went to my parents, and then I had the treatment, I was having the treatment, and I said to my parents, actually, at that time, my mom was alive at the time. And I said to her that, you know, the joint family is very toxic. They hide things and they make a mountain out of a molehill. Nothing happens. They don't have anything in their life. They just see what we are doing. Basically, they would see it like a detective. They are seeing what I am doing, what my sister-in-law is doing. That's their main hobby. My mother-in-law and the sister-in-laws, their main hobby was that. They didn't have nothing to do in their life. So I just told my parents, I think so if he doesn't come, because I'd rather live on my own and see if the relationship works. Otherwise, I don't think so it's going to work, because I can't be somebody is like stalking me all the time. It felt like somebody was stalking me all the time. And like my mother-in-law, when I locked the door, my mother-in-law used to say, don't lock the door. We don't lock doors in our house. I'm sorry, we are husband and wife. What kind of a mother are you? Like privacy, you're not giving any privacy to anybody. So anyway, I came here, and then my husband also decided to come, but I didn't know he did it for all the passports for his family. I got a job. I sponsored him to come here. I had an operation, and then I was off sick for like 2 to 3 months. I couldn't work. And then he found the job, he got the pass, you know, everything. And then I was living with my parents, with him as well, because he just come from India. So and then I'm the one who's telling him, we need to get a flat, we need to get a house, you know, our own one. We can't live here forever. I was the one who paid the deposit money for the house. He got the mortgage and everything. We moved here, it was okay. And then he started inviting his mother and sisters as well. And again, when they used to come, they would gang up on me. You know, they would gang up on me. And I didn't like that. I said, sorry, I think so it's best if we, you know, we don't get along that well. So it's best if you just, you know, we two stay and you just send money if they need help. Why the hell are you inviting for six months in a period? Oh no, it's my job. It's this, you know, he was just manipulating me. And then at that time, he was started to isolate me with my brothers as well. You know, like I didn't know their family was going around my brother's house behind my back and saying things bad about me to them. Oh, she has this issue, she has psychological issues, just to make me look unfit, you know, in their eyes. So it was the isolation and the gaslighting which happened with my family and myself. And he would say bad things about them to me as well. Oh, look, we went there, they did not give us respect, they did not give us this, they did not, you know, the typical, he wanted to be the son-in-law, they did not do this. I mean, sorry, but what do you do? But at that time, I didn't realize that much. I was more focused in having children and all that. So, you know, I had my daughter. Till then, it was okay, a bit on and off. And then after my first daughter was born again, the mother-in-law and the sister-in-laws came. And then he said, oh, let's get them married, then everything will be okay. You know, nobody's going to interfere. So we arranged a match for my sister-in-law, one of them, and she got married here. But I think so that is the worst thing I could have done. That is the worst thing I did, because after that, things changed. As soon as she got married, she came here, she got everything. She started feeding, and my other sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, they started feeding him bad things, you know, instigating like fighting and all that. So then I had my twins through IVF treatment. So I had twins then after that. And then the situation went bad. Then my other sister-in-law who wasn't married came here, and she started instigating my husband against me. They both would gang up, and I got really fed up. And then we had a really bad fight, and he literally pushed me. I said, don't ever push me again, because I will call the police if you push me. I said, don't ever do that to me again. Otherwise, I'm going to call the police now, because I've had enough with all the family ganging up on me. And then he said, okay, all right. Then we stopped talking. And then his sister-in-law went back to India. And then he said, I'm not going to do nothing for you. You know, you just live here and I live here. So we stopped talking for a couple of months. And I had to have a hysterectomy because I had a gynecological issue, a really bad one. And I needed to have that because they were waiting for the twins to be 1 year old. So I just said, if you're not going to talk, it's best if I go back to my country. My relatives will support me. One of my relatives supporting me, and I'll have my operation, and you take care of the kids, and I'll come back. And then he got scared. Oh no, okay. Then he started apologizing. Okay, no, we'll do the operation here. Don't worry. Now we'll start new again. And then when I had the operation, as soon as I had the operation, just 1 or 2 weeks after, he changed again. Like he was just waiting me to have the operation just so that I could look after the kids and all that. So again, he started changing, and I was really puzzled by that. And then I told my dad. Actually, my family didn't support me after my mom died. They actually basically said, you have to live with him. Our doors are closed. My brothers, my relatives, and everybody. So my health was really bad. And because I had a hysterectomy, so we hired somebody for a few days,
to help
for some months. I said, you have to hire somebody because I can't lift anybody because I had a hysterectomy. I would have a prolapse then. Yeah. So anyway, we hired somebody, and still I thought, he was just gaslighting me, and it was very toxic about my dad, about my mom had passed away, unfortunately. So he took advantage of that because he knew my dad would support him more. My brothers were with him. So, he took advantage of that situation, and my health was down. So he took advantage of everything. Then I just said, okay, I don't think so. It's working. I want to go to India for 1-2 years because my health is bad and it's too expensive getting a babysitter. And if you don't want to really help me that much, I'd rather go back there. So I took the kids in India. I stayed there for about nearly 2 years, and my in-laws also said, okay, don't worry. Because I had twin children, a girl and a boy, and an older daughter. So they said, okay, you're not that well. So for weekends, we'll take care of the son. I said, okay, that's fine. I had a maid there as well. So I said, okay, I can recuperate and get better as well. And I was at that time depressed as well because of the situation and my health issues as well. Yeah. So I said, okay, that's fine, because I thought, okay, they were helping me genuinely. Like in the weekend, we'll take him, and during the week, I would send them to the nursery, and my older one would go to school. So just a few months after that, I noticed a change in my in-laws and my husband again, like sending money. There was problems always. I don't have money. I don't have this. And you're only after money. I'm sorry, I have to support 3 kids. I'm not working there. In India, how am I going to work there? Absolutely. So I'm thinking, why the hell is he doing this, And then on the Holi festival, my brother-in-law said, okay, I'm going to take the kids, 3 kids for a few days. But I said, before the Holi festival, you have to send all them back because I'm not going to celebrate it on my own. I need to celebrate at my own house. Then he said, okay. He took the kids there. And then I wasn't aware that they were planning something against me. My husband and my whole in-laws, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, his wife, my younger brother-in-law, everybody was planning something against me. And then I told him, I said, you need to bring the children back because the Holi festival is coming. So I need the children back. So please bring them back. Then he said, okay, I'll bring them tomorrow. Like he was like negotiating tomorrow. I said, no, now you need to bring them back. And then what he did, he brought the kids back, but he didn't bring my son. He just brought my daughters. And then he started swearing at me, my younger brother-in-law. I'm sorry, you're not my husband. You are nothing that much to me. How dare you are younger to me and you're swearing at me. You don't know how to look after your kids. I've told everybody how you've done, how you treated your children. Look at her finger. Your daughter's finger is gone so bad. When she went from me, she was okay. He made it, he took her somewhere, and I think so she got hurt. And to make an issue, he didn't go to the doctor or get her treatment done. And then he said, she was bad when she came. I said, no, her finger was okay. When she went with you, then her finger turned bad. And I said, why the hell did you take her to the doctor? And he goes, no, why should I? You don't give a shit. I said, you have a car. I don't have a car. I can't drive. I said, when she was at your house, it's your responsibility, or you should have told me. I would have come and taken her to the doctor. Anyway, so he was blaming everything on me. And then he took the pictures of the finger and sent it to all my relatives in Delhi. Everywhere, and I didn't know that. So, and my maid also said, she said, the girl was fine when she left. How dare you say this? And then he goes, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do this to you. He threatened to kill me. I got really scared because he's like 6 foot. I'm only 5 foot and I'm thin. And he's 5 foot and he's got a gym body, you know, like he goes to the gym and everything. So I said, listen, if you're going to say anything, I'm going to shout and get all the mohalla to come, you know. And then I started shouting, help me, help me. And then he ran away. And then he didn't bring my son back. And I said, give my son. Even then he wouldn't give him back. And then what he did was, after I phoned them at about 2 o'clock, my mother-in-law, I said, she wouldn't pick up the phone. Sister-in-laws, they wouldn't pick up the phone. Both my sister-in-laws, his wife and the sister-in-law. And then when I was phoning the sister-in-law, then he picked up the phone again. Like they must have done something. And he goes, I said, you better give my son back to me. I've had enough of your threats. I'm going to report you to the police that you threatened to kill me. He goes, I don't give a shit whether you report to the police. I hope you die slowly and all that bullshit. And I'm not giving your son to you. I said, well, then I will report it. He thought I wouldn't report it. So anyway, the Holi festival passed because it's holidays, 2 days. So I can't really do anything. So I told my aunt, and she said, I'll send her brother to me. And then we did an application and put it in the, went to the police station and reported it and put the application there.
So
and
this
then
is in India, yeah?
In India, but in India,
so do you think it was straightforward to deal with the police in India?
Oh my God, it was the most nightmare I've ever had.
Thing, isn't it?
It was very.
That is also one thing. Like women who are watching this, listening to this, sometimes women who are from India, they think we can go back to India and complain to the Indian police, and maybe that will help.
They don't.
I think that would make it a lot more complicated. And because if you want to get divorced here, you should make sure that you are complaining to the police and the GP and everyone here in this country.
The son was kidnapped in India, not in this country.
No,
so I have to go to the law in India, not here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was
for your case, it was different.
Yeah. So what happened then? Anyway, after the second day, the police came to my house and they said, "Oh, we have to do an investigation." I said, "About what? About the kidnapping of your son?" I said, "Well, my brother-in-law took him but never returned, and he returned 2 girls. So that is kidnapping, but he didn't get kidnapped here. And the police, they are going around the colony, Molla. Did you see whether her son was kidnapped? I mean, how stupid are you? Didn't you see the application, what I said?" So then they said, "We have to do this." I said, I found it a bit strange. And then I told the police, I said, "Listen, if you want to call me in the afternoon, never call me at night. It's because I have heard stories. It's dangerous to go in the police station at night." So he said, okay, don't worry, we'll call you in the afternoon. And do you know what they did? At 11 o'clock at night, they are phoning me, "You have to come to the police station now."
Really?
I was so scared. And then I phoned my aunt and then she said, I said, "I can't go to the police station on my own. I'm scared. It's like 11 o'clock. And they're saying, "You have to come now. You have to come." They're putting pressure on me. I said, "I can't go alone to the police station. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to go." So then her brother, her brother came, and then we went to the police station. And to my surprise, my cousins were with him, with the brother-in-law, not with me. When I asked my relatives to help me, they did not, and they were helping him. My own brother was helping him. Can you believe it? And then when I went to the police station, I said, "Why, you shouldn't have called me at 10 o'clock. It's not the law." "Oh, we're not going to do anything. Look," and I told them, "I don't want my in-laws in the same room when we are talking." And they did the same thing. My in-laws were there in the same room in the police station, my 2 brother-in-laws. And then they are saying, "Madam, why are you lying? It's not kidnapping. Your brother told us, and your husband also told us, that he lives with his with the grandmother." I said, "No, he lives only in the weekend with the grandmother, but for the whole week he lives with me because I sent him to school in the nursery. If you don't believe me, you can go to the nursery and take the records out and see his attendance. My twins go there." So they said, "Yeah, but it's not it's just a family issue. You should sort out yourself. And your brother also said this, and talk to your husband. I said, I'm not talking to my husband, sorry, because he's supporting them, not me. I need my son now. My son was there crying because he was only 3 years old at the time, and they were brainwashing him as well, and he was crying and screaming. And then I said, well, you need to give me my son, and I'm the mother, so I can take him back. Then the police said, no, the son will stay with the in-laws. If you really want to get your son back, then you have to go to court. And then we will make your son the ward of court and send him to an orphanage. And you know the orphanages in India are so bad. So I said, no, it's better leave him there. Yeah. And they said, okay, don't worry, but we will give you when the school starts. So I said, okay. Then I went back and I'm phoning them. The police doesn't care. And even in the police station, my brother-in-law was threatening me. I'm going to do this to you. You made a false complaint. I said, do whatever you want. You can make a complaint against me. I don't care. Let's go to court then. Then the police saw this and he said, listen, she just complained that you were threatening to kill her. And now again, you are doing the same thing in the police station. Then I said, listen, I live on my own with the kids. And what if they do something to me? They know where I live. They come to my house. So then he said, okay, just call 100 and we'll come and protect you. And then he said, I'm going to warn them in front of you that they can't come to your house. And he did that. Anyway, I went home. And when I asked for the child to be my son to be brought back for his school was open, no. And then what I get is from my brother-in-law, I phoned them and then he picks up the phone. He said, if I see you near my house, even 100 yards, I've got so much contacts, I will get you beaten up to death. And I was scared because they had contacts. I didn't live in India that much. He's lived all his life. He has business there. They have so much contacts. I was scared. I said, and then my husband is calling me. I said, tell him to get my son back. He said, no, he's not coming back. Then I said, don't phone me again. If you get my son back, then only I'll receive your phone. Otherwise, I'm blocking you. And I blocked him because he refused that. So I went to the British High Commission in India. And then when I went to the British High Commission, I told them the story, what happened with the police and everything. And then they said to me, oh my God, why did you go on your own to the police station? We heard such horror stories. You can't go to the police station on your own in India. They're so corrupt. They are so bad. And I said, well, anyway, this is what happened. And, you know, if my son ever comes to the airport, just inform me. They just took the application, wrote everything. And then I went back. Then I tried through the lawyer. I spoke to one or two lawyers. And then at the end, the lawyer said, he said, you know, madam, the police is very corrupt here. It's best if you go to London and start your case and then you will get your child back. Then I decided to go, you know. I came back to London and then with my two daughters and he was there. And then again, with my husband, I said, you need to bring the child back. Oh, I don't want to bring my son here. You are an unfit mother, you are this. And I said, no, you have to bring him back. Otherwise, I will go to court. He thought I will not go again because in India, there's corruption. So I went to the lawyer and then I was just going on like making a complaint. And he got to know that I was making a complaint. And he goes, okay, I'll bring our son back. I said, okay, because even the school knew it. The school was made aware that he wasn't bringing the son back. So they said, okay. Even the school started putting pressure and the lawyer, when I was doing, then he said, okay, I'll go back to India and get our son back. So I said, okay. Then I said, then my lawyer goes to me, you have to take the photocopy of the ticket, the passport, because within this time, if he doesn't bring the son back, then we'll issue a warrant for his arrest. I said, okay. And he wouldn't let me. Why do you need the photocopy? Well, I said, my lawyer said, if you're going to do it, only then you'll go to India. Otherwise, wait 3 months and you'll be arrested when the case comes to court. Then he said, okay. Then he agreed to give the photocopies of everything. Then he went to India and within 1 week, he brought my son back here.
Okay. So I think the law here is more robust. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you so much for your time. Anybody who wants to make any further comments? Otherwise, I think we can wind up. It has been a brilliant session. Rashmi?
Yes, Jazzmine. Unfortunately, Ramya is on her way to Manchester for a very important case. I just wanted to tell everybody that Ramya is a very strong individual, and it's been very bad that she got involved helping a victim, and wherein she was accused, and her husband also went to the same person that Ramya is abusing him. Ramya went to the same person saying that the husband is abusing her. So both of them called each other victims, and somehow this woman to whom they went, she believes in naming and shaming the person who she thinks that is the victim or the abuser. And in Ramya's case, she felt that Ramya was the abuser, not the other way around. She said that it's the wife who is the abuser, and she started posting all the documents which the husband had given her, given the cyberbully, that, she started putting all, shaming Ramya, a woman. In a relationship, there's always two sides, or maybe one side, but nobody has a right to post it all on the wall of the Facebook or Twitter. And she really posted Ramya's all the information, whatever the husband had submitted to the cyberbully was all on the walls of this particular group. And she went through, it's not easy to face it. So I wanted Ramya to tell her story herself, but never mind, some other day. Thank you all so much. So this is Inspiring Indian Women trying its best to break the bias, and we will one day succeed. Jazzmine, thank you very much for being part of the show, and we will keep in touch, all of you, and be together, a close-knit family, supporting each other. That's what we want. At the end of the day, this is International Women's Day every day, and reality is that it's not just wishing, but being there for each other. Take care, everybody. Goodbye for now.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone.